Hey there, welcome back. So where we left off last time, we made a pause manager, but it was brought up in a couple comments and on the Discord that I didn't do anything about the music. I only muted the sound, not the music itself. So in order to mute that, let's talk about it. So if I take a look here at my board and I look at my sound manager, I have this is the sound I was using. And right now, I think I had it set to just play on awake, and that's all I did about it. What I can do instead is let's go into our sound manager here. Let's open that up. And we're going to go through how we can make sure that the mute affects the background music as well. So I'm going to open up Visual Studio, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so here we are in the Sound Manager class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another audio source, and I'm going to call it background, or maybe music or something. So public audio source. And this doesn't need to be array because, unless you want to have multiple ones to choose. I'm going to call it background music. And then what I'm going to do here is from my start method, I'm going to say, so start, and then down here, what I want to do in my start method is I want to check to see what the user has set their volume settings to. If they set it to be off, then I'm going to not start anything. If they set it to be on, then I'm going to start the background music. So I'll do background music.play. Let's say if player prefs dot get key. It's get key. No, has key. Sound. Then I'm going to check to see what the key is set to. So if player prefs dot get int sound is equal to 0, then I'm just going to return. Else will work. We're going to say background music dot play. Now, when they press the sound button, what I want to do here is I'm going to make a public void to either mute or unmute. So this is going to be public void, we'll call it adjust volume. And then in here, what we're going to do is check that, this again. So we're going to copy that. I'm going to paste it right there. So if player prefs has key sound, if sound is 0, instead of returning this time, we're going to say background music dot volume equals 0. And if it's otherwise, we're going to say background music dot volume equals 1. Okay, and then let's save this. So file, good lord, I'm out of it today. All right, so if we go back into Unity here, it's going to ask me to tell it what the background music is. And I'm going to turn this down because I know it's super loud. So Patka's World, and then I'll hit play. And let's see how this goes. Did I turn it down too much? Oh, I must already have it to be muted. Okay, cool. Okay. So what I didn't do is make sure that it played if it was muted before. Actually, good lord, sorry. Instead of just having this be play, I'm going to have it play either way, and I'll just adjust the volume. So we'll do background music dot play, but then we'll set the dot volume to 0, and then here we'll do volume is equal to 1. And then if they don't already have the key, we'll say set it to play and the volume to 1. So I'm going to copy this and paste it under an else statement here. There we go. So save all scripts, back to Unity. We'll let that compile for a second. And the other thing too, I thought I had fixed this, but my settings button is showing on top of the fade panel. That's weird. So let's hit play. Okay, cool. So music's playing. And oh, I didn't call the adjust volume. Good lord. What the heck is wrong with me today? So let me go to my pause manager script, which is in UI. There we go. So in my pause manager script, when we do this whole sound thing, what I want to do is go to call the sound manager and adjust volume. So in here, I need to make a reference to the sound manager. So I'm going to do private sound manager sound. I'm going to assign that in here. Sound equals sound manager. So I made a private variable for the sound manager. I assign that. I know I'm using find object of type, which isn't very efficient, but we can change that. And then down here in my sound, I'm going to do sound.adjust volume. And then I'll call it from here as well, and here as well. And then I'll save that. Let's go back into Unity, let's hit play, and it's going to think for a second. Alright. So my input scale is weird for some reason. There we go. And the reason I don't want to use stop, the reason I'm adjusting the volume instead of making the background music stop, is because if you make the background music stop and every time you do this and then turn it back on, you have to hear that beginning of the song again. This way, it seems like the song is going on for forever in the background. Okay, so let's move on to today's actual topic. So let's make an actual proper opening scene for this. So if we go to our scenes, we can go to the splash scene, save my settings. What I want to do is I want to make an actual proper opening scene for this game. So to do that, I'm going to go to my canvas and I'm going to go to right click, choose UI. I'm going to create a new panel. The reason I'm doing a panel is just because it takes up the whole scene. I'm going to call this start game, and we'll turn the color completely transparent. Now I'm going to take my level select, turn that off, and these are going to be the things I want the viewer to see when they first open. So like ideally like a logo, maybe a great big play button, and then buttons that can link to whatever you want to link to. So to start us out, I'm going to make a UI image, and this is going to be something that would represent a logo. I'll move it way up here, and I will resize the anchors. And for my image, I'm just going to do UI text, make this text nice and big, and I'm going to call it match 3 exclamation point. And let's make our font super, super big. Ooh, too big. All right, that's not too bad. Center it in both directions. Let's make it even a bit bigger. Here we go. That's not too bad. Cool. All right, so this would, of course, be replaced by a logo. But for now, I'm just going to have it be that. Also in my Start Game panel, I'm going to go to UI, choose a button. I have all kinds of nice buttons for this, so I'm going to use one of those. I'm going to make it a square dimension though. So maybe like 256 by 256. So it's nice and big. Takes up a lot of space in the scene. Let's get rid of our text. Now, for the art, let's go into UI. And it seems like I had set aside a play button. Apparently I didn't. Oh no, I did. Great big green play button. So I'm going to go to my button, change the image to green play. That looks nice. Now what I'm going to do for this as well, let's rename it so I know what it is I'm going to add a little animator to it. So animator, and then I'm just going to make one little animation for it. I'm going to put this in my animation folder, animations, and I'll call this play button idle. Okay, so let's go into record. I'm going to change my scale just slightly so that it's recording the scale. And then at, say, half a second, I'll make it slightly bigger, 1.3 by 1.3. And then at 1 second, I'll make it back to what it was, 1 by 1. That's maybe a little too fast. Let's make it, the shrinking happens at 2 seconds. And this happens at 1 second. There we go. That's not too bad. And you can go into curves and you can edit these if you want to make it look a little less mechanical, but I think that's pretty good. All right. So now let's add, yeah, that's good for now. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my scripts inside UI. I'm going to create a C# script. I'm going to call this game start manager. And we'll open up the game start manager. Now, what this is going to do is manage which of these panels is going to be open. And you can have as many panels as you want. So like, for example, for example, right now I have a start game panel and a level select panel, and the confirm panel, that doesn't count. So I could have another panel for like about or whatever, and this is just going to manage which of these panels is active at any given time. So I'm going to make a reference to those panels. I'm going to say public game object, we'll call it start panel, and we'll do another public game object level panel. And in our start method, I'm going to make the start panel set active true, and I'm going to make the level panel set active false. We'll make a little void here. Let's make this public so we can use it from the button. So public void play game. And then what the play game is going to do is it's going to inactive the start panel and active the level panel. So start panel dot set active false and level panel dot set active true. And now there's a home button in the level panel that I already put there. I'm going to call this public void home. So for that, I'm going to do the opposite. Might as well just copy and paste. So we'll set the start panel true, and we'll start the level panel false. Now, because this is something that is acting with both game objects that are being turned on and off, if you want this to be called properly, this script needs to be attached to an object that is not a part of either of those two panels. So back in Unity here, I'm going to put it on my game data, but you could just easily create another game object and call it manager or something. So I'm going to call game start manager. I'm going to tell it the start game panel is this one. And the level select is that one. And in the start game play button, I'm going to add a on click event. Comes from game data, from game start manager, and it's play game. And then in my confirm panel, I have my, did I call it a cancel button? Oh no, it's not my confirm panel, it's in level select. I have a home button, and I'm going to add a click event to that. That comes from game data and game start manager and home. All right, cool. So if we play this now, we have our setup here. We've got our nice little animated button. If I hit play, we go to level select. If I hit home, we go back here. So there we go. We have a proper game splash screen. And I'm sorry I don't have an actual logo, but hopefully, maybe you can make one of your own. I don't know. Anyway, so that's it for today. The last thing I really want to talk about is how to make these left and right arrows work so that you can actually load up different level select panels. So I'm going to release a video on that probably tomorrow. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. You can follow me on Twitter to see when I post a new video. And you can join the Discord where I'm chatting pretty much every day. And yeah, I hope everybody out there is having a wonderful day.